Hey there! Today I wanted to share some information about and maybe even introduce some of you to the Young Living Essential Oil Blends created in partnership with Oola. If you haven't heard of Oola, this is a word used to describe a state where you are balanced and growing in 7 key areas of life: fitness, finance, family, field, faith, friends, and fun. Oola was first introduced in 2012 with the first book, Oola, Finding Balance in an Unbalanced World, written by Dr. David Braun and Dr. Troy Amdahl. They have taken some tried and true steps used in setting and achieving goals and have then branded and developed a system of accountability and getting results that's really easy to follow. It's one that's especially favored by many Young Living members because of the ability to integrate Young Living essential oils into the process. As the story goes, Mary had a copy of the Oola book that someone had given her, and on a road trip with Gary, she read it aloud, and they both were drawn to the principles and the simplicity of the Oola program, decided they wanted to share it with Young Living members. This prompted the launch of the first 2 Oola-inspired oils, Oola Balance and Oola Grow, in 2013. Oola Balance is loaded with lots of good stuff. Some of my favorites in this blend include Roman chamomile, frankincense, sandalwood, balsam fir, and black spruce, but then there's lavender, lemon, orange, and some others to give it a bit of a pep. So it's a little earthy, but really vibrant at the same time. It's designed to align and balance, hence the name, your center for a positive outlook and amplify the ability to focus on your passions, your beliefs, your behaviors, and your health. I like to diffuse this oil in my bedroom using my Aria diffuser while I sit down and map out my tasks on my Oola path the following day, which we'll talk a little bit about that process in just a minute. In the morning, though, I like to replace the balance oil with the Oola Grow, which is designed to give you courage to focus on the task at hand and helps you move towards positive advancement and progression. This one, again, full of lots of good stuff: white fir, black spruce, geranium, jasmine, cedarwood, frankincense, bergamot, sandalwood, grapefruit. So again, very peppy oil. I really like this too. And these are just 2 of the easiest ways to incorporate the partnership between Young Living and Oola into your daily routine. If you're like me, you have a Young Living daily routine that's like a mile long. So I need to keep it simple with this one. Again, it's just throw it in the diffuser. These are the 2 that sit on my my nightstand that I use every single day. When you're ready to dive further into the Oola process, there are a number of ways you can do it. I started out by listening to the Oola audiobook, which I actually did multiple times by myself. I've done it again with my kids. I revisit chapters as I need a little bit of inspiration, which I think is probably the simplest way to get started. You can also then partner or couple that with a visit to the Oola website, where you'll find all the tools that you need to be able to set up and follow your own Oola process. And there's no additional charge for any of these items, which is great. There's also, Oola has a Young Living University edition, which is actually a DVD program and a workbook that you can go through. Purchasing the program from them, it's another great tool. I have a copy of that, and I'm excited to begin using that as well. But by far, my most favorite experience was attending an Oola Palooza event. Oola Palooza is kind of it's a 2-day seminar, and the Oola guys are currently touring the United States, putting on these events to give you kind of a full immersion experience. For me, this was absolutely necessary because I tend to research things more and read about them and make checklists rather than just simply doing them. So I needed a full 2 days to just sit down, focus, really understand Oola, and really start applying it to my goal setting process so that I could get some good results. It was so much more effective for me. But again, regardless, no matter what you decide, the Oola process is extremely simple. 3 basic steps. The first one is to stop and take a look at where you are today in consideration of those 7 key areas. So you review fitness, finance, field, family, faith, friends, and fun. Go through each of them and rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. When you visit the Oola website at oolalife.com/step1, they actually have a tool that asks you a couple of questions in order to help you come up with a score in each of the categories. This provides a visual representation of where you're at, whether or not you're balanced, and how much opportunity for growth you have. It's called the Oola Wheel. Here's a copy of mine. You can see by my Oola Wheel, hopefully you can see that I'm out of balance. I got a couple of areas here that are quite a bit lower than the others. And then I've also got some opportunity for growth. This is exciting for me because I can say, hey, wait a minute. I need to take a look at each of these and make sure that I am taking actions or steps every single day that can help me. Now, these aren't big, monumental, crazy hard tasks, which we'll talk about more in step 3. But it's something to help keep it on my radar. I can look at this every day and go, remember, oh yeah, this is what I need to be focusing on. I also like that I can see how much opportunity there is for growth. This is a process that's not going to end. This isn't like an annual goal setting process and you get to the end of the year and yeah, peace out, I'm done. This is something fantastic that keeps me motivated to always be looking for opportunities to improve myself or to improve one of those 7 areas. So it's really great. Once you have figured out where you are, obviously it's time to figure out where you're going to go. Step 2 of the Oola plan, or step of the Oola process is called your Oola plan. Again, you can visit the website for tools in order to do this, but this is the actual goal setting process. And Oola strongly encourages that you use the SMART goal setting process. If you haven't heard of SMART goals, that's an acronym which stands for specific, measurable, accountable, realistic, and timely. So you want your goals to be very specific and to have some element that you can use to measure them so that you can actually say, yeah, I know it's now done because this happened. And you want to have a way to be accountable for those. For me, I actually use an accountability partner. And at different goals, I use a different accountability partner. Sometimes I'm really good at keeping myself accountable, but sometimes I need some outside help. You want your goals to be realistic. It's good to stretch, but you don't want to make them so crazy like I want to lose 100 pounds by next Friday. That's not very realistic. So you want your goals to be realistic, and then you want them to be time-based. Give yourself a deadline so that you always have momentum and you always have somewhat of a sense of urgency around those goals to be able to complete them. My goals that I set at my Oola Palooza are listed here. There's quite a bit of writing on there. They encouraged us to set 3 goals in each category. And the way this is done is just sit down and really just focus on each category and look at where you are and think, okay, where do I want to be? And what's going to take to get me there? This is my favorite step. It's the most time consuming. It's the most, it requires the most effort. However, it's where you get to start using the oils again. Think about for just a minute, before I talk about how the oils are used, think about your sense of smell. Your emotions, your mood, your mindset, even your behavior sometimes can be influenced by your sense of smell. If, for example, you smell chocolate chip cookies, you're walking through the grocery store and you smell freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. For me, that brings me back to a memory of baking chocolate chip cookies with my kids. And it's a feel-good thing. I really like it, besides the fact that cookies just smell good anyway. But I have an emotion attached to that and a memory attached to that I love. Another example would be the smell of a campfire. You, when introduced to that smell, automatically have some sort of a feeling or an emotion attached to it. It might be a favorable one, it might be an unfavorable one. You open the fridge and you smell something rotten in there, that's an unfavorable one. And every time you have that smell again, even if you don't remember the actual experience, the emotion or the feeling and your reaction to it is going to be the same. That's what these oils were developed to do. They are designed to become part of a process for you, whether it's emotional or behavioral, to help support you in not only the goal setting, but the goal achieving process, which is fantastic. So when I sit down to write out my Oola goals, whether it's at Oola Palooza, whether I'm kind of overhauling them or I've completed goals and I need new ones in that category, I use each one of these oils. It might go in the diffuser, it might just be a quick whiff straight from the bottle. I might put it on my hands and actually wear the oil, just to sit down and kind of get me in the zone, kind of recalibrate me for that mode of thinking, which is fantastic. And so there's an oil designed for each of those 7 F's: the fitness, finance, field, faith, family, friends, and fun. Once you've gone through and set the goals like this, the third step in the process is to begin your Oola path, which is, as I said before, super simple. Even me, who tends not to follow through on things sometimes, it's so easy to incorporate. And the way Oola describes it is by, or they want you to do it is by using note cards. And again, on their website, they've got some tools. Oh, that's not the right one. Note card is what they suggest that you use. 3x5 note card. I got a stack of them. They sit on the nightstand along with my list of goals and my 2 Oola oils, the Balance and Grow, just so I'm ready to use them every day. And the recommendation is that you take off bite-sized pieces from your goals, pick between 3 and 5, sit down at night and plan out your day. What can I do to get me closer to those goals? An example of one of my goals that I'm working on right now is to complete a 10-week workout program by a certain date. And so if tomorrow's a workout day, that goes on my note card. It's going to be written down, so I know that has to happen, and I'm prepared and ready to do it. Another one that I'm working on, in fact, I'm just looking at this list here. In field, I've committed to sending out a weekly email as part of my business building, and tomorrow it's on tap to sit down and write that email, get it scheduled and ready to go out to all of the recipients on there. So I've also got on my card for tomorrow, faith, my morning meditation. It's a goal that I have in the faith category that I'm continuing on a daily basis. And then this one's a little less frequent, but I have set a goal where once every other week I identify a friend who I feel like I need to connect with, and take some time out of my day to get out from behind email or text or Snapchat or any other social media and actually get on the phone with them. So I call it my friend call. So I have to make a friend call tomorrow, and it's on my card, so I'm ready and prepared to do that. I also tend to use this card for the non-goal associated things, but kind of those have-tos, just so I can keep my whole day in perspective. So for example, this one says car registration, because that's due this month, and post office. Those are 2 things I need to accomplish tomorrow. So I sit down at night, fill out my note card, Oola Balance going on in the diffuser, and I don't have to wake up in the morning and think, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? How can I cram everything in? How can I get things done? But also feel very comfortable and confident that these are realistic things that I can accomplish. They're bite-sized pieces, and I'm going to be able to do them no matter what. Now, because when I set these goals, I used these oils, anytime I go back to this, for instance, faith, on my morning meditation, I'm actually going to apply the faith oil before I begin that morning meditation. I will use my friend oil when I call my friend. I have even given bottles of friend oil, the friend's oil, to my friends and explained to them specifically what it means, after we had this our friend call. And I explained to them, hey, I had to make a goal because I realized I wasn't really connecting with you. And this is something that I'm trying to be more conscious of, and wanted to, make sure that you know how much I love and appreciate you. Oh, and by the way, here's a bottle of oil. So that's a lot of fun. So that said, those are the 3 steps in the Oola plan. There are 9 oils from Young Living. Again, you can purchase 7 of them as a kit. The Oola Balance and Oola Grow are always sold individually, or if you need just a little extra focus in one or more of the categories, feel free to just try one out and add to your collection as you go. But I wanted to be sure to share Oola with you because as much as the oils have been awesome, being able to pull those into this process and have goal setting that actually works, I'm actually accomplishing more in a shorter period of time than I ever have in the past. And I'm very grateful for that. So I hope that you check out Oola, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks.